Owen Love.
What's up, people? I'm on here tonight talking about the right mind. Yes. When you do martial arts, when you're in a particular situation, guys, you always want to have the right mindset. If your mindset is on bees and butterflies, then you probably won't have the right mindset to hurt someone if you need to. So, you need to have that killer instinct. You need to be ready to change mindset at the drop of a dime. Be the nicest person in the world. Be fair. But always be firm. Because if you're in a situation where you're being bullied or somebody's in your face harassing you or something like that, then you need to be ready to take action. And taking action doesn't always mean that you have to say something back. You have to respond back. But what people say doesn't really matter unless it's a threat towards your family or it's a threat towards you. So if I'm in a situation where I'm in a bar or at my house or in a parking lot or just going to a store and someone comes up to me and asks me what time it is, well, I'll let them know what time it is. But if they continue to, it depends on if I want to have the conversation or not. I'll engage in conversation. But if the situation goes south and I don't want to be bothered anymore, then that person should respect your wishes and leave you the fuck alone. But if they don't, and they're still in your face, and you want to be left alone, then you have to take it to the next level. And sometimes if you can't walk away from the situation, you always have to confront the situation. And when you confront the situation, you want it to be known that you don't put up with no shit. So the first strike is always the best one. So when you make that first impression, you want to make it known that you're nobody to fuck with. Whether you're hitting someone, whether you're talking to someone, whether they're talking to your family, or whether they're talking, it doesn't matter. If it offends you or if it hurts you, then you need to be ready to hurt back. Period. Because a bully will harass you. They will try to hurt your feelings. They will try to hurt you if they can, if you let them. I know, I've been there. And, it's a shame how the law is these days, because the law lets, the bad guy get away with everything. While the people who defend their families and things like that, they end up in jail, or they end up with criminal records or something like that, because they had to bust somebody's fucking eye open, that was fucking with them for 2 or 3 years now. So if you're going to go to jail for fucking somebody up, you might as well make them remember it. Make them remember it, because nobody has the right. Nobody has the right. Let me say this one more time. Nobody is better or has the right to be in your personal space or in your head. If somebody's bugging you and you don't want to be bugged, if somebody's bothering you or bullying you and they won't leave you alone, then you need to take the appropriate action. If you keep ignoring the situation, you're going to feel bad for yourself. You're going to feel bad for yourself for not taking up for yourself. So, some people deserve what they get. You know, some people deserve what they get, hands down. Who gives a fuck what other people think about you? Who gives a fuck? Because when all comes down to it, only people that are going to be there for you is you. And if you have a good soldier beside you that lays with you every night, then her and probably your animals and your mother, maybe. But other than that, nobody else is going to be there for you. So always take up for yourself. It's basically what I'm saying. Now, the reason why I'm making this video on my martial arts page is because I've dealt with cyber bullies. I've dealt with bullies, period. And they won't leave you alone. They just won't. So the best thing to do is learn how to defend yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. You got to know how to deal with them. And if you, like I said, if you continue to let people run over you, they're going to do it for the rest of your life. They're going to do it for the rest of your life. So you have to have the right mindset to tell them to fuck off. Even people who don't know you, want to talk about you. People 1,000 miles away. All of a sudden, your name is in their mouth. There's nothing you can do about that. But it's when they start getting in your business, putting your addresses out there, calling your jobs, and leaving nasty comments about your mother or your wife on your streams. That you can do something about. So don't be a victim of cyberbullying. Fight back.
Give them a fish sandwich.
Fight back. Most bullies, they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag anyway. And especially keyboard warriors or cyber warriors or whatever you want to call them, they wouldn't face you face to face anyway. First thing they're going to do is they're going to call the cops on you. So best thing to do about them is just ignore them. Unless they come to your address, just ignore them. Because as long as your name is in their mouth, that means you're doing something right. If your name pops up on social media without you promoting it, you're doing something right. You want people to be on your page. You want people to know about you. We have a book coming out this month. So, of course, we want our name out there any way we can get it. Our life hasn't been perfect, and we don't claim for it to be. So, I don't have to chase clout. That's for damn sure. My Facebook page is pretty damn good. I've got several Facebook pages, and probably have done a lot more in my lifetime than you guys ever dreamed about doing to help people and animals. So that's pretty much all I have to say. And if I have something to say about somebody, I'm not going to say it behind the camera. I'm not going to say it behind the phone. Hey, Chris, how you doing? That's right. Strike hard, strike first. How can you hurt somebody if they physically don't feel pain? Well, usually those types, Chris, like drug addicts that are really high or something like that that don't feel pain. I fought a meth addict. I fought somebody that was on meth one time, Chris, and it doesn't matter what you do to them unless you knock them out physically or disable them to where they can't fight, like fuck their leg up or something like that, or their arm or something, or choke them out. Choke them out if you can. If you can get to them to where you can choke them out, that's your best option. But if they don't feel pain, just because they don't feel pain doesn't mean that they can't be stopped. Uh, you can still disable the body if they don't feel pain. You can still, the rule says if you can't see, you can't breathe, you can't walk, you can't fight. Just remember that. Can't see, can't breathe, can't walk, you can't fight. So restrict the airway, make them pass out, disable the leg. They can't see unless they're a ninja and have had 40, 50 years of training and they can fight with their eyes closed. There you go. Because, I've heard of people, being shot and they keep on coming. And a lot of times they don't feel it until they come down, especially a lot of people when their adrenaline is pumping and things like that, you don't feel pain anyway. When people's adrenaline is pumping and they're fighting and they're not going to feel that because they're in the moment. They're in the moment. I know you've heard the stories of people being, having this superhuman strength, when like a giant log falls on one of the kids or something like that and they lift it and things like that. That's because of their adrenaline and their emotions are so high and they just don't feel it. But when all that comes down, then you feel everything. So yeah, I'm gonna try to so I'm gonna so if somebody's not feeling pain and I don't seem to be doing anything to hurt him, then I'm gonna try to get behind him to restrict his airway, or I'm gonna try to take his legs from him, or at least get him something to where he can't see, or fighting's not fair. Pick up something. Pick up something. Take their legs out. They'll feel that, and even if they don't, you won't be able to use them. So that's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, I don't know. I really don't know. But I know a lot of people that fight. When I know when I get angry, I don't really feel anything. But then the next day, I'm sore everywhere. Especially, people who have anger problems. Have you ever heard of crazy strength before? People with crazy strength, they're let's see. I wonder this though. Why the heck isn't he training in a studio? Well, I used to do a lot of training, And then I got addicted to drugs, and I stopped doing training, and became homeless. And we're just now getting back on our feet. We just started getting back on our feet like at the end of last year. So, but yes, I used to do a lot of training, and that's real. But we haven't we've been drug free for 18 months now. So, but yeah, before I got addicted to drugs really bad, pain pills and heroin and stuff like that, I was training a lot. But ever since ever since then, I haven't really, and I'm just now getting back into it. And I decided to start my own martial arts page. So yeah, retarded strength. Yeah, yeah. 11 years. Congratulations. You know, opiates are bad, and it gets in your bones and in your muscles, and uh, it's really hard to get off of. But there are worse things out there. There are worse things out there, Xanaxes, and they've got that fentanyl stuff out there now that's killing people, and it's sad. My best friend died of a drug overdose last year, so uh, we're just doing the best we can to get ahead right now. So, we were homeless last year, jobless. Now we have two online businesses. One of them's called Wofford's Originals Arts and Crafts, and the other's home house cleaning and pet sitting and stuff like that. Wofford's house cleaning, pet sitting, and boarding. And now we've got the job working with the contract working for the university. So we're doing much better. We split a 4 bedroom house with one other person, and 3 dogs, 4 dogs. So wow, 15 to 20, actually 30s a day. Damn.
5 dogs.
Yes, methadone and that stuff is worse because it gets in your bones and stuff like that, and yeah, it's not good. But I mean, at least you wouldn't have to worry about going to jail, and you know, it is a step above street. It is.
That's 5 dogs.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, I was. I had bladder surgery, and my doctor was giving me Percocet tens, and I was doing more and more, and then they would give me lower tabs with the Percocet, and then they changed it to Dilaudid, and then the pain pills started to get to where they wasn't strong enough, so I went to heroin, and I was a, a bodyguard for some dope dealers, and I was getting my drugs free. So, you know, that kept me supplied, and I'm not proud of it, but you know, it kept me supplied. And then, you know, I wanted to get clean, and then me and Shelly got together, and then I decided to make a life for myself without drugs and build a better future. So we decided to get jobs, and you know, we struggled. We were still on the street. We struggled, and we were going in between jobs and taking in animals off the street, and so yeah. So yeah, you know, I know that I'm not perfect at all, and I don't pretend to be, but I know that we're getting better every day, every week, every month, and we're getting stronger, and we're getting healthier, and things are getting a lot better for us. We're getting we plan on buying an RV next week. I mean next month. So absolutely. Now I do have a good friend that I trained with uh, in MMA. He's a cage fighter, and I train with him sometimes. But I thought I showed my videos when I was training with him. Maybe I didn't. Let me see if I can find him real quick. Well, they they usually don't do anything unless it's too late. Unless it's too late, you know. Who isn't? Let me ask this: who isn't trying to build their page on YouTube, guys? I mean, everybody seems to want to, you know, ride somebody else's horse. When this is me and my buddy doing jujitsu at the gym, and this is our other video